let's look at how to solve an absolute value equation. Our first step is to rewrite this in the format where we have just the absolute value on one side and a number on the other side. So we call this isolating the absolute value. So here we can begin by subtracting 3 from both sides. So we have the opposite of the absolute value of x minus 2. 3 minus 3 leaves us with 0. So then, since we have the negative out in front, we would divide by negative 1, but in this case, 0 divided by negative 1 is still 0. So when we isolate our absolute value in this equation, we end up with the absolute value of x minus 2 on one side and 0 on the other side. So normally this is when we would split our equation into two parts. We would take the absolute value of x minus 2, and we would write just x minus 2, that linear expression from the inside, and then we'd look at the constant on the other side and write one equation using the positive and one using the negative. Well, since it's 0, positive 0 and negative 0, it's just 0. So this is the only time that we will end up writing just one single equation. So adding 2, we get that x equals 2. So this absolute value equation has only one solution, and this is the only time you will have one solution. When you have an absolute value on one side and a 0 on the other side. Every other time when you're solving your absolute value equation, if that is a positive value on the right-hand side, then you should always end up with two solutions. So kind of as a general rule, if you have an absolute value equal to a positive number, you should get two solutions. If you have an absolute value equal to a negative number, then you will have 0 solutions because that is not possible. If you have absolute value equal to 0, then you'll get just one solution. So if it's a positive number after doing your isolate step, you should have two solutions. If it's a negative number, there are no solutions. It does not exist. If it's equal to 0, as we had here, that's the only time that you will end up with just one single solution to an absolute value equation.